Hey Void, how you doing? So, now that I've finished my Nightmare on Elm Street collection, I do still have the remake and Freddy vs. Jason to get to, but my I've only got one TV that is a Blu-ray player readily hooked up to it, and since my partner doesn't like me watching slasher films when she's around, I kind of have to pick and choose my battles on that one. Those ones, Freddy vs. Jason and the remake, are on DVD, and I can watch anytime, so I'm going to be focusing on the Blu-ray ones when I get a chance for them. Which means I'm back on my Chucky collection. For all my complaints about the title for Chucky collection here, see my review of Child's Play. But actually this means we're on to Child's Play 2. And this is the 1990 sequel that picks up more or less where the original left off, maybe a couple months later. Well, this one does a lot of things well for the series, but also has a bit of a shaky beginning for me. But mostly just because they seem to have moved away from some of the original characters, focusing mostly on Andy himself rather than anyone else around him. And any scenes involving the other characters in the previous one were either cut or just never intended. Alright. So, this one picks up with Andy in foster care, given that his mother is now in a mental asylum. They're not treating her very well here, unfortunately. Don't know about how she's treated in the asylum. I mean, from the movie's standpoint, they just decided to move away from her character, so they wrote her out by just saying that she's going to an asylum because she's talking killer doll. Well, meanwhile, the toy company for the good guys is viewing this as a PR nightmare, so they've picked up the defective doll and have essentially rebuilt it just to make sure that there wasn't anything wrong with it, and so they can prove that everything's okay. Well, in rebuilding the doll, Chucky comes back and begins hunting Andy again. Now, he's moved into a new family, which is trying to accommodate it. The wife is clearly the one who's more interested in raising foster kids, as she's got a second one, while the husband's like, I don't know if we can handle a kid like this. And, they already have a good guy doll in the house, and so Chucky switches with that one and begins trying to stalk Andy, while everyone around Andy is believing that he's just traumatized from his previous encounter. The one person who starts to maybe believe him, particularly after some strange encounters with the doll herself, is Kyle, a girl who's just about to leave foster care about to age out of the system. And culminates to them being chased around the good guy factory as Chucky is determined to get back into Andy. And once he realizes it's too late, well, he just wants to kill him. So, yeah. So, Child's Play 2 is a very well done sequel for the series. It's definitely hits a lot of good notes for it, and Chucky's personality really begins to come out here as he gets that good old Chucky laugh going. Brad Dourif is still amazing in this role. Now, my complaints mostly have about how that they don't have anything to do with Andy's mother at all, and it felt like a cop-out write-out for it. I know they just wanted to move it away from her, but at least I would have appreciated them showing something for it, at least. And the detective from the last one, they mentioned that the police department itself has denied it, though I read in some early notes that he was also going to at least be trying to back up the story. But they decided not to go in that route, and it wasn't even that the actress for Andy's mother was unavailable. She was actually still on set because she was, I think, dating someone who was, working on the special effects. Could be wrong about who it exactly was. I think he was someone in the animatronics. I could be wrong. But I know she was dating someone on set. So she was actually there quite a bit. Also, I will say, most slashers are weak in how they bring back the killer. This one, I get it. It was a good attempt, but why they felt the need to completely rebuild the doll from a burned out husk, I'm not sure I get. I get they wanted to try to do it, but just testing on the components that survive rather than just switching everything out and then saying everything's okay. It mostly just seemed like a publicity stunt that wasn't well thought through, which, well, maybe the company just not thinking that through very well. Yeah, so, that's a little bit like, okay. But the rest of the movie does hold up very well, of, Andy being scapegoated by Chucky constantly, and in order to isolate him so Chucky can do what Chucky do. So, and I like that Chucky's what he does something. He does have the sense of humor. He isn't as quippy as he gets in the later ones, but he is starting to get the good comedic timing for it, and Brad Dourif really sells it. The kill effects are pretty good in this one. The neck break scene is very effectively done, and though a few characters are more of, it doesn't go into as much, like the teacher is kind of off screen to death, and so the gory parts that are there are good and gory, but they do seem to pull away a bit more than they really need to. But overall, I did enjoy the movie. The animatronic work on Chucky is even better than in the first, and they took a lot of time syncing his mouth up with the word, so he is a very believable animatronic in this. Yeah, so I think 6 MacGuffins is where I'll give Child's Play 2. It's well done. It's the whole Child's Play series. I'm not gonna call high art or anything like that, but it's iconic, and iconic for a reason. The first 3 at least are very well done, and I will even say Bride of Chucky definitely adds something. After that, I will go into those ones later, but I suppose I did enjoy Curse of Chucky, but I don't know where it goes from there. We'll see. I think that's really all I got on this one. I will say the music definitely is notable for Child's Play 2, as they use more of a symphonic style than they usually do for a slasher film, which I will say added something, I think, during some of the final scenes. But yeah, Child's Play 2, I'll give 6 MacGuffins to it. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to the rest of the Chucky collection. This one, Nightmare on Elm Street, I was quickly to go through because I love watching through that series. Child's Play, I didn't grow up with Child's Play. I saw the first one once, but it was one I just sought out on my own rather than like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, which were big for me watching with my father. This one I liked it, but it's a series I only go back to once in a while, so I don't know how quick I'm going to be rewatching through the whole series, but I'll get through it. It's just, there's going to probably be a lot of things in between the reviews on this one. Alright, well, I'll catch you guys later, Void.